Welcome back to Monday Night Football, playoff edition, Todd.
Yep.
Let's just get right to it.
Hey, we made it to the round of 16.
We made it to the round of 16.
We lost a few good teams out there this past week.
We lost a few good teams. We started out getting 15 out of 16 teams in, which bested the last year's mark of 13 out of 16. Mm-hmm. But we've had a lot of attrition compared to last year. I think we had like 7 or 6 teams still making it to the final 8 and final 4. So this year we only got 3.
Yeah. So we've whittled it down. In 2 weeks, we've whittled it down to 3.
But these 3 that are left standing probably are the ones that have a high probability in my book to make it to semis, if not for sure the finals. Yeah. Now, is that saying that they will win the finals? No, but looking at the bracket, looking at what's ahead of them, if they play their games, they should be able to make it there.
Well, let's hit the OptiLink scoreboard, and I'll go ahead and do the honors this week. All right, so Class 3A, this is on the girls' side. Coahulla Creek bows out in the round of 16 to a very strong Wesleyan team, 6-0. Dalton put up a great fight against Northview, losing 2-1
in overtime.
Yep.
2 minutes left in the game.
Wow, you got to play to the end, don't you?
Yes.
All right. On the on the boys' side, the Fighting Ruries of Dalton Academy go out 6-2 to a very strong Atlanta International team, 6-2. Christian Heritage walks Washington Wilkes. Coahulla Creek gets vengeance over West Hall 2-0. And Dalton High advances with a solid 3-1 win over the Hooch. And let's see here on the girls' side as well. Northwest bows out to Westminster 6-1. And then the heartbreaker of the week, I would have to say, right?
Yeah.
Southeast had Westminster on the ropes. Ends up tying 2-2, goes into extra time, and loses 5-4 on penalty kicks. I think you and I both watched that one on. Were you there?
No, I was watching on NFHS.
That's what I was doing. I was watching on NFHS, going through all the emotions. And my wife wondering what I was ranting and raving about and yelling and all kinds of nonsense. So let's say our goodbyes for the year. Coahulla Creek girls bow out to Wesleyan 6-0. Creek ends up 14-5 on the year, 5-1 in the region. A strong season for.
Strong season. I think they're progressing. They're back-to-back Sweet 16s. Now let's see if they can build off that. Where the work's really going to kick in now for the girls is your club ball. Focus on it. During this time, you got to be grinding all summer because that's what the other girls are doing.
Getting stronger, bigger, stronger, faster.
That goes in place for Dalton and Northwest as well. Dalton had a great season. They region champs 3 years running.
Yep, 13-6-1. 5-0
their out of conference schedule was not a cakewalk, so they played competitive matches.
And hats off to that defense too, right? They went to the region and did not allow a goal in the region.
And that was a heartbreaker. They had that game. They were 2-1.
I watched that one too.
Less than like 2 minutes left in the game, and I think they scored with 1:59. I guess run a play.
Yeah, the girl never looks up. I mean, she knew where she was out on the field, but she got the ball and just fired it to the far post, and it was a dagger. Let's see here. Northwest, Coach Gutierrez did a great job this year. Ends up coaching the Soccer City champs. They end up at 12-4-1. Go out to once again a very strong Westminster
private
team.
Schools. I mean, that's the big difference there on the girls' side of those private schools. You saw Wesleyan private school, Westminster private school. So it's going to be a little harder for the girls, but we mentioned before, if they keep putting in the work, it'll come around.
I agree. And then the Dalton Academy, I mean, we knew this was going to be.
This game had been circled on the calendar since. Since
we saw it happening.
No, not only that, since the season started, we knew they were in the classification. We said, okay, this is the matchup.
But we really felt like it was going to be a semifinal or final game.
Yeah, but if you didn't, I got a chance to go watch the first half of that game. It was just another level. I hate to the Atlanta International were just bigger, faster. Every step that they took, Dalton Academy, let's get the Fires did not give up. They were there. It was just a 2-1 there for a little bit.
I mean, this is an Atlanta International team that came up to play Dalton in a non-region game last year and came back from 3-1 to tie 3-3.
Yeah.
This is a top-notch, high-level side we're talking about here.
And keep in mind, that was a matchup of last year's state champs.
Yeah.
Private school state champ for Atlanta International, and then public single A for Dalton Academy. Nothing to hang your hats on. From my understanding, Dalton Academy, from talking to a lot of people within that's close to that program, they had mentioned that they were aware and they knew what they were facing, and since the year, so they had been practicing to play this team, eventually in the playoffs.
No shame in that loss. Great season for the Pumas. End up 7-0 region champs. We know they took some scalps along the way. Well done. And then, like we said, the Southeast game.
The heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker of the week.
I mean, it was, 1-0 going in, with 30 seconds left, and then Angel Garcia. Golazo, just a la what he did last year in the Dalton.
Very
Dalton.
Reminiscent. Clutch, key. You knew it could happen.
Just opposite sides of the fields, but, same thing. Then they go up 2-1, and then that – and you and I talked offline about it, with that foul at the we didn't have the best angle. Don't know if it was right on the line or if it was outside of the box.
But there were enough lines on the field. It's easy to say you might not know where you were at.
Yeah, but, I mean, tough way. They got a PK. They converted.
Right.
And, they bowed out.
Yeah, well, you go to PKs, anything can happen. I mean, there were several notable performances in that game. And in that game, Cordova stood up great in the goal. There were great performances all around on that Southeast team. But I want to read a quote, and this kind of, I think, encapsulates all the teams to this point who have bowed out. And this is from Andy Hernandez, one of the captains of Dalton Academy. And he said, "I don't have any words for tonight, but from my team and I just wanted to thank the community, the fans, for all the support, love, and encouragement. Thank you." And that was from Andy Hernandez. And you look at these teams and you look at these players and the blood, sweat, and tears they put into it, and that's what it means to them. And they appreciate the support that we give them, this community give them. They feel that love out on the field, and they also feel that pressure to perform. So when they lose, it hurts. So a big thank you to all the teams. No shame. No shame. We're proud of you. And, man, you guys just made us proud all year. So
with that, we're going to commercial break, and we'll be back with some highlights from Dalton and Chattahoochee.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Experience the power of the links. OptiLink streaming app VidLink, powered by its fastest internet service, GigLink. Your link to reliable remote access to healthcare. Your link to the best educational opportunities. Your link to our community's only local provider. Your link to the ultimate in entertainment choices and gaming experiences. No interruptions and faster downloads power up your life with the perfect combination of speed and entertainment. VidLink and GigLink. Upgrade today and get the power of the link.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
back to Monday Night Football. We're rolling into segment 2 here. Hey, it is a special episode tonight. We've got a couple of special guests coming on from Southeast Whitfield. A couple of guys that just signed some
scholarship offers. Going to go play at the next level,
right.
which is always what you want to do.
So we'll bring on Angel Garcia and Jerry Favela a little later in the show, and maybe we'll get some guest picks out of them.
We'll see how it goes. We're going to run with it. So that's for you, Mr. Russ Vicks. We know you watch the show, so stay tuned for the whole episode.
We got your boys coming up.
Yes. So, no, but what? Dalton Chattahoochee.
The Hooch, man. Chattahoochee coming in at 7-8-3, but we know they play in a really strong conference. They had some really close losses this year. Expected a solid game.
Yeah.
And they proved as such, right? It was 1-0. Thanks to Zeke Ortiz. Put them up, but then,
the Hooch came back.
The Hooch had something to say about it.
Hooch came back, tied it up, and then Dalton just sort of did what Dalton does. They came back and they solidified the back line, and really Zeke doing Zeke, sent a cross pass all the way on the other side to Angel Salisis. He just, helped with a go-ahead goal, and then from there, they capitalized.
All right, Pete, we can hit those highlights, man. All right, once again, thank you to Mama Ortiz for supplying these highlights for us.
Man, I don't know what we're going to do without Mama Ortiz.
I don't know.
Right here, boom. That is straight off the training ground right there. That is a play that has been practiced. You saw they look
all that
at
near post run and just that flick. Man, it happened so fast. I'm surprised we didn't see some people signaling for VAR because the keeper got a hand to it. And that cuts that angle right there. And that's the one that put them up 2-1, and they were looking at the Hooch in the rear view from this point.
Yeah.
But how many clutch goals has that guy had this year?
He's had quite a few, and he surpassed the goals that I had said he was going to do. He's got 35, and this is a beauty right here. He just sends it, boom. Already knows where it's going.
Watch this.
And then Angel's like, all right, one time it.
Great finish, great vision. Good job by Ivan Rodriguez to break up that play there.
Yeah.
So all in all, that's exactly what you want, right? Forcing the turnover, somebody immediately switching the field and seeing the counter. Then Chiefs has got to love that goal right there.
He does, and that put Zeke at 35 goals, moved him in sole possession of second.
Omar Hernandez, right?
Ramiro Hutando with 47.
What year was that?
2013, when Dalton went on their when they went on the three-peat run.
That's a lot of goals.
So he scored 47 goals that year. That is, but nothing to be ashamed of. Zeke ended up with 35, sole possession second. Now I don't know where he's at career-wise. I'm kind of interested to see where his name would be on the career-wise goals.
I'm sure he passed some names this year with putting in 35.
So yeah, he should. He should be up there at least top 5. So
I would think so.
We'd have to think.
We'll see if we can get to the bottom of that trivia between now and next
I'll
week.
have to ask my insider that no longer coaches. I think he should have those stats, but see if he can provide me that information.
All right, Pete, let's go to that 5A bracket. Now, up next, you're going to see they draw Chambly, right?
Yes.
So, Chambly, Chambly ain't shabby. They're at 7-8-2.
Don't let the record deceive you, though.
No. That once again, that's another one. They're down there one of those Atlanta.
In the Atlanta areas, and if anything, Chambly's going to be fast and physical.
Right. I think they're going to be very close to what they saw against Chattahoochee, if I'm being honest. I think they're going to be very similar squads.
And I think if Dalton, and they're not, and the thing about Dalton, like if they win, then they would play Flowery Branch, Union Grove. So the bracket is setting up the way they wanted it set up. If they can win this, they win next. They would play semifinal on Friday, most likely at home, since they're the overall number 1 seed on that side. If they, like I said, we're just looking at the future. We're not saying it's going to happen, but if they do that, then potentially on the other side of the bracket lies the team that defeated them earlier in the year 4-1, which I think is a matchup that if anyone in 5A, I don't care who you are, I think any school is in 5A, even NFHSA or whoever, that's a matchup they want to see.
Oh, I think so.
That's the match. They want to see a rematch of McIntosh, Dalton at a neutral field.
At a neutral site.
But first of all, they got work to do. Chambly, I think I talked to...
And I know that's the focus. McIntosh is the focus, right? Or at least the long term, but the immediate focus has got to be right here.
Chambly, yes.
Right.
Because it's a quick turnaround. You got to think about it. They play tomorrow on Tuesday. Win, they advance, and then they got a semifinal on Friday.
But I think that's good. I think that's good. It doesn't give them too long to think about it.
No.
And I think that's mentally that's good. And I think Chiefs would prefer that as opposed to turn around playing, next Tuesday and having a week to sit on.
And like you already said, this is you said it not last week but the week before. It's championship or bust for this team.
Yeah.
It is championship for bust. And I think that, talking about the championship or bust, I think that's the mentality that all the schools in this area need to have now. From what's happened, the success of the area for the last 2 years, 5 state championships come out here in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. Potentially there's another 3 on the docket for, we don't know what's going to happen, but there could be. So hate to say it, but Dalton, Whitfield County, North Georgia is no longer like a secret. Every school, this goes out to Southeast. This is going out to Northwest. This is going out to
everybody's bringing their A game.
A game. So you have to be able to play, and you know what? That's the one thing that Dalton does. They come out and bring their game. They make other teams adjust to them, not where they're going to adjust to the other team.
I agree.
Now they may make some tweaks and stuff, but they're always going to be.
They're going to play their game.
They're going to play their game. They're going to play wide. They're going to play the outsides. They're going to try to pull you out, do the crosses in. They're going to play fast, and they're going to play very technical.
And I think to your point, right, I think that is contagious because, you talk to a Peter Pridgeon at Christian Heritage, you talk to a Sal Bersanis at Culver Creek, and they're going to tell you the exact same thing because I've spoke with them a little bit. It's championship mentality for them. Like, that is what they're gunning for. Like, they're not going to be happy with a quarter. They're not going to be happy with a semi. They're not going to be happy with bowing out in the championship game. Like, it's championship mentality for these guys.
And we'll have an opportunity as Jerry and Angel when they're on the show. Like, what was the mentality? Was it championship or bust? 2-time state champs trying to do the only thing that...
You know what it is.
So the only other team to three-peat was Dalton.
Right.
Ready to do that. But the culture has changed. The narrative has shifted. Every team, that is your mentality. Like, you can't have a letdown. Like, it's an easy win, let's go out there and just – no. You have to go out there and play your game regardless of who the competition is and just keep doing it. And I think that is the messaging that needs to start getting across to all these teams for the next year and the upcoming years because that's what's going to happen. We got 15 seconds. Anything else?
No, man. Once again, be there tomorrow night. That's at Harmon Field, and that's going to be that's a 6:30 start if I'm not mistaken.
6:30 starts. All the other games are 6 o'clock. But with that, we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we'll discuss Cahola Creek and West Hall.
Growing up, we moved around a bunch. My dad was a doctor, and we wound up moving to a bunch of different states. And you really get a glimpse moving around a lot to see how a lot of people are struggling. And there was a big draw inside me to kind of help those people during difficult times. I had no intention of being a lawyer. I had a forestry degree and I wound up teaching environmental education, but it was the environmental justice that really drew me to the law. So I wound up joining an employment law firm out in Denver. When I was working in Denver, I was also doing trial advocacy, and Casey Geiger, he was on the trial advocacy team. So we got to know each other that way. We stayed in touch throughout the years until eventually we decided to join together. I think the culture of a firm is important, and at Geiger Legal Group, we certainly have a very good firm culture. When the firm culture is one of family, that encompasses the clients. The whole reason for the firm are our clients, and treating them like family is just a natural extension. Whether it's my immediate family or whether it's the family of clients that we help, I try to approach it in the same way, which is respect and caring towards those people. These are people who are coming to you at the worst times in their lives. Whether it's a small case or a catastrophic case, I'm going to put the same effort in for each client to make sure they get the best result that they possibly can. I think of the law as a service industry. We really are a service industry, and that we're here to serve our clients. It's not the other way around. And I would hope that each client leaves our representation understanding and really appreciating that. For anyone who's struggling with issues at their workplace or personal injuries, I urge you to call Geiger Legal Group.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. As our old buddy Roy would say, this is now the
It's creek time.
Oh, well, which is your neck of the woods. So
Take
we're
it to
going
the creek.
call it to the Todd's Power Hour, Todd. You were actually at this game, the Color Creek West Hall game. So what do you got to say about the game? What happened there? Any updates? A lot of updates.
Yeah, a lot of updates. So this was a revenge match, right?
Yes.
You have a
West Hall.
West Hall team coming in at 7-8-1. Creek went over there last year. You know, they fully expected to win that game. They get beat. So that's been weighing on their mind for like a full year, right? It's the one that kind of got away. So, coming into this game, I think I messaged you before the game. I thought they looked big. Physically,
they were
I thought they looked big.
Yes.
Came out and really Creek took it to them from opening kickoff. I mean, the pressure was incredible. For the first 25 minutes, I'm not sure if Hall even got the ball across midfield.
Are you serious?
I mean,
Okay.
It was relentless. The pressure, the pressure like put on like every time that they would try to get the ball out, you would see Tony intercepting the ball and putting it right back in, and it was just relentless. And they had chances, right? And had some really close calls, and you kind of started getting nervous because you're like, man, with all this pressure and these chances, like you got to get a goal here somewhere, or you kind of get into that. Well, maybe it's just not our day or something like that. But luckily, towards the end of the first half, Saul Barcenas did convert.
There's that name again. Saul Barcenas.
Man, and he's the vocal leader of that team, and he put one in, made it 1-0. Now, to be fair, West Hall, they did come back out, and they started getting some possession and started making a game of it. But you really never felt like Creek was ever out of control of that game. And then later on in the second half, second goal that really solidified it by Anderson Tobar, a freshman, kind of out of nowhere. He comes and finishes it off. But like I said, they dominated every facet of the game. Shots on goal, possession. The one just absolute, for me, killer in the game was a double yellow card on my man, right, Tony Mendiola.
But think about it. What was our takeaway on last week's? What did we say a key to that game was?
Stay focused, stay in the game, and realize that there's a bigger game to be played after this.
And did we not bring that up last week?
We did.
We said, and we know they don't want, but look, we called that one. This is playoffs. Everything gets tighter. They're going to call everything tight. You've got to keep your emotions checked.
That's the thing, and I will say this: the first one was silly, and I think the West Hall players, they were. To be fair, now kudos to Tony, right? He really did keep his cool for most of the match because they were nipping at his heels. Like there was some kind of questionable stuff going on, and he got fouled. I mean, it was like a tackle from behind, and the ref didn't blow the whistle. And didn't issue and he's just sitting there on the field, and he kind of questioned the call, as we all did in the stands. Like our hearts were with him, and he just got that second yellow. So they will be missing. Let's go ahead and go to the brackets. So they're going to be missing, that stalwart right there, that number 6, that cleanup man. In this Hall, as they advance over West Hall, and now they're going to draw Peach County.
I mean, they're drawing Peach County. I mean, I hate to say it. Peach County comes from middle Georgia, right south of, north of the south of Macon area. I think if they play their cards right, I think they can be. They should be able to advance. Now, is he going to be? Yes, he's a big piece that they're going to be missing. But I think they have other pieces. Coach Jacobo has his team. We know. But Santa's ain't gonna let him down. He's gonna.
And plus, that guy can play anywhere on the field.
And the thing is, they may bring him down. That may be the move. Bring him down to see what it looks like during the game, and then if you see that you're not gonna be threatened that much, and then maybe Jacobo will make the change and put him back mid or up forward to help them in the scoring if they need it. So.
Well, after the game, I caught up with Sal Barcenas and Miggy Arredondo. So, Pete, we got that interview?
Yeah, we do.
Roll it.
Hey, this is Todd with Monday Night Football. I'm out here at the corral at Color Creek. Color Creek just coming off a 2-0 win in their second round Sweet 16 game versus North Hall, right?
Yeah.
Is it North Hall? That's us, yeah.
West Hall.
West Hall. They got so many halls over there. West Hall. All right. So 2-0. You guys avenged the loss from last year. So we'll start with you, Sal. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot just because last year we had the team to beat them. I guess we went in there confident. We had to travel all the way over there, so being on the bus got us all like hyped up, I guess, that we're gonna go in there and win. And then we lost, but now we're out here. We did 2-0. I told them, I was like, I'm not gonna come here to lose again. I'm not coming here to waste my time. I'm gonna come here and actually do something different.
So right back at you with the next question. Like, it was a little hard that first goal to come by. You guys were controlling. Were you starting to get worried that it might not be your night?
I was getting a little worried just because the time was running. So I was like, first half we were still 0-0, and then a little bit towards the end of that half we got ahead 1-0, and then that's when I knew that my players were gonna step it up and we're gonna get another 2 goals.
All right, and Miggy, like kind of going into the second half, you guys go into the second half with the lead. So what was your mindset coming out at halftime?
Coming out of halftime, I just tried to keep a strong mindset. Try to not get too overconfident, because that's what gets to us sometimes. Like, we get too overconfident sometimes.
And it was definitely warmer today than it had been. So how did the heat affect your play today?
Well, it definitely got me a little bit more tired because of the sun, but I still played through it. We still played through it, but it had a little bit of effect on it.
All right, and so word is you guys are probably going to be going up against Morgan County, likely in the second round. I haven't checked the score. So you guys just, no matter who it is, y'all ready?
Yeah, we're ready, obviously, especially since we beat Morgan County already. We have a mindset that we should go and beat them again. We traveled 3 times towards their house, and we're trying to host it this year and take them down at home.
All right, well, congratulations, gentlemen. You're moving on to the round of 8, going to the quarterfinals. So best of wishes to you.
Thank you, Todd.
All right, big thank you. I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Thanks to Miggy and Saul for coming on there.
The Edgars. We're going to call them the Edgars. If you're into that, you know what I'm talking about. Everyone in this area has the Edgar haircut.
I did not. I was unaware of that.
Well, you've been rocking the mohawk for 20 years now.
This is accurate.
So,
hey, so it was really hot the other day, so you can see that did affect the game. So I was wondering, because it was mid-80s. I mean, I don't know about the games you were at, but it was hot
mid-80s, and now it's like 60s. It feels like fall right now.
Yeah, so, hey, and a little bit of a surprise, you can tell they were geared up to play Morgan County. Rookie mistake again on my part. They were geared up to play Morgan County mentally, but now they're going to be playing Peach County.
And they'll be geared up.
Yeah, and obviously you heard them. They don't care who they play. Come one, come all. Like, the bottom line is it's win or go home, so.
And with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, and then we come back. It's the Dalton Academy of this year, Christian Heritage.
Yes.
So let's really see.
I think that's a fair way to put it.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to commercial break. We'll come back with highlights of Christian Heritage.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Experience the power of the links. OptiLink's streaming app VidLink, powered by its fastest internet service, GigLink. Your link to reliable remote access to healthcare. Your link to the best educational opportunities. Your link to our community's only local provider. Your link to the ultimate in entertainment choices and gaming experiences. No interruptions and faster downloads power up your life with the perfect combination of speed and entertainment. VidLink and GigLink. Upgrade today and get the power of the link.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? What would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams a reality.
At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
At Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty, we've been serving our community since 1974 with offices in Dalton, Calhoun, Ringgold, Cartersville, and Cleveland, Tennessee. We've got you covered.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. We're at the midway segment.
We're missing something.
Oh, OptiLink. And Geiger Legal. Yay.
That's right.
But with that, let's go to OptiLink Scoreboard. I will do the honors this time,
All
Todd.
right, man.
Run through it really quick because there we go. So Monday, we had Kahala Creek bowing out to a tough Wesleyan school 6-0. Dalton, heartbreaker, 2-1 to Northview girls. On Tuesday, Pete, there we go. Dalton Academy, tough loss to Atlanta International 6-2. Christian Heritage just cakewalking through Washington Wilkes 10-0. Kahala Creek, easier, the scoreline doesn't show up, but easier game than what it shows, 2-0. Dalton over Chattahoochee, 3-1. Northwest girls going down to a tough Westminster side, 6-1. Southeast, heartbreaker of the week, like Northwest Breeze Week, losing MPKs.
Still a tear in my eye for that one.
So, but now it's Christian Heritage. They literally did what they wanted, and we called this game. We said it was probably going to be a cakewalk.
This was like their opening round, and I'm going to say Christian Heritage did the dog walk on Wilkes.
Dog walk on Wilkes.
I mean, that's what it was, 10-0. And this was a team, not a strong team. This is a 2-8 team. We said this was the equivalent of an opening round game for them. Both of these schools had byes. It is a small division, so I would look for them to have a much tougher, much more competitive match this week. But we do have highlights from this game. So Pete, thank you to Geiger Legal for these highlights. All right, getting it started off.
Minute number 4.
That's right, Pridgeon to Forceman. That's how they do it. All right, and this is
Staggy to Russell.
Yeah, and in this game, Marco had a couple of goals and an assist, and Peter Pridgeon coming in with a hat trick and 3 assists. I don't know what you call a 3-and-3, but that's what it was. There's one of Peter Pridgeon's.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this game, not competitive, but a great game for Christian Heritage to get their feet back under them after having
3 weeks off.
3 weeks off, just ridiculous. They need to do better scheduling. GHSA does. Whoop! That was a nice one. Well,
here's the thing with Christian Heritage, you can't. They plan their schedule out. Most of these schools are planning their schedules out a year in advance, so they're looking at their squad, seeing what they got. And we talked to Coach Boyd about this. Earlier in the year, she started seeing what she had as a team. And remember, we even said, hey, play that Southeast squad.
Yep.
She wanted to at the end, but Southeast got into that tournament late, so they weren't able to say that. But, she was a little apprehensive because she didn't know, right. Especially with Christian Heritage, one year to the next, you don't know what kind of team you're going to have because you don't know who's going to transfer in or who's going to transfer out. So that's very hard for you. Where if you go to like a Southeast, Northwest Dalton,
it's a little more predictable.
Yeah, because this kid's at North Whitfield, this kid's at Eastbrook, this kid's at these kids should feed up into my school if everything goes as planned. So you're able to plan it out a little bit more.
Well, if you're watching these highlights, you can see that defense left that poor keeper out to hung out to dry multiple times, and you know what? All you can do for Christian Heritage is basically score 10 on them, and everybody get home happy and healthy, and start focusing on next week.
And we have brackets for them?
We do have brackets.
Let's see those brackets. Look at that. So here they're playing.
This is where it starts.
Yeah, and I don't know much about this classification, but just Lake Oconee. We saw Lake Oconee. It's just the whole Athens area. Private school, Lake Oconee Academy.
They're 11-2-3. So I will give you. I tried to look at some of their games that they played on their schedule. Like I said, Lake Oconee Academy 11-2-3, strong record. They did lose to Georgia Military College 6-0.
Wow.
So if Christian Heritage wins this game, that will give us some sort of gauge as to how good Georgia Military College is and how good kind of Lake.
Well, and I know listen, you don't compare.
It's hard to do.
You don't compare previous seasons for past, but we know Dalton Academy essentially almost with the same squad they had last year, with, missing a couple of starters from last year. They beat Georgia Military College last year in the semifinals, I think 2-1 or
Dalton Academy. Dalton Academy,
yes. And then obviously Christian Heritage. 11-2-3. So,
This is where it starts. Yeah, and I don't know much about this classification, but just Lake Oconee Academy 11-2-3, strong record. They did lose to Georgia Military College 6-0. So if Christian Heritage wins this game, that will give us some sort of gauge as to how good Georgia Military College is and how good kind of Lake.
And then obviously Christian Heritage. beat Dalton Academy, and then I think they tied or
earlier this year. Yes.
So there, so they can sort of use that barometer, and I think,
it's hard to do. It's like
it's hard to do. But here's the thing: Georgia Military College, they be looking at our posts on Facebook because we see the metrics.
We see stuff.
We see stuff, so we know they're peaking, and we know they are looking, and they know they played. They've already known that they played Kahala, they played Christian Heritage, they played these Rome. So they're not going to. Georgia Military knows, but Lake Oconee, that's where the focus. We know Boyd's got them.
Yeah.
What are your keys of this game?
100%. It's goalkeeper play, which has been solid all year. It's Marco and it's Peter. And that back line's got to stand up. They're going to see a lot more skillful players now that they've gotten into this round. They're going to start seeing more skillful players on the ball. They might see some players maybe not to the caliber of Marco or somebody like that for the other team, but practicing against him and Peter in practice has got to be good. So they're going to see some more. So they just got to be able to keep the ball out in front of them, keep it simple, clear out anything that comes in, and don't piddle with it. Right?
Don't
just
piddle
get
with
it
it
out. But then it's your usuals, right? It's you guys that score for it's Peter and it's Marco, and they need to be scoring goals, creating all the chances.
And then the other thing, they're going to have home field advantage. It's being played.
Which they've had some great support all year.
Yes.
So
I think the crowd is even going to be bigger.
I think so too.
Now.
I think it's going to be a really good crowd.
If I was the AD at Christian Heritage, if you had a baseball game scheduled for tomorrow, I'd be like, hey, can we reschedule this? We want all our student athletes at this game. It's a great – right now there's a lot of momentum, big
energy
for them.
There's a lot of big game energy.
Big game energy. So let's just keep it up. If you haven't had a chance to go out and support them, please do. We'll try our best tomorrow. It's going to be Tuesdays are bad for me. My daughter's got ballet, and then she usually has a soccer game. So
and I can go ahead and tell you tomorrow I will be at Kahala Creek for that game. I'm going to the North Whitfield middle school game, and then from there I'm going directly to the Kahala Creek game. Proximity is everything. They're like 2 minutes apart, so that really helps. So if anybody, are you going to be able to go to a game tomorrow night?
My plan, I don't. It just depends what I can get out of. Like I said, may try to hit up Christian Heritage for a half, and then possibly hit up Dalton High for the second half.
So we may need some eyes and ears out there to give us game reports and stuff like that. So be watching our social media feeds. But we're only two dudes. We can only do so much.
Yeah.
So.
And with that, we're gonna get ready to go to commercial break. Forgot to start the timer, so I'm guesstimating that we took a minute and a half for that first segment. With that, we'll go to commercial break, and when be on the flip, we should hopefully have Angel Garcia and Jerry Favela from Southeast. All right, see you here in a few minutes.
One of the benefits of working with a smaller firm is that you're not handed off from attorney to attorney. Attorneys don't come and go. We'll be here, and we'll be handling your case from start to finish, and you can count on that.
I will be handling your case personally. We don't have a bait and switch system. We don't have an attorney who sees you to try to settle your case, and then another attorney or paralegal to come in the middle, and then a third attorney at the end. You will be my client. I will talk to you from the moment you walk in until I hand you a check and see you smile. During your initial case evaluation, you're going to come in and you're going to meet with me or one of the other attorneys in my office. We're going to listen to you first. We want to know about the car accident or the wreck or however you got injured.
We'll give you advice about how to handle the case going forward. But the important thing for a client to understand is that our job is to take the stress off of them, take the worry off of them. Once they leave here, leave it with us, we'll handle it.
We are passionate about representing people in wrongful death and personal injury cases. It's what we do. It's why I became an attorney. We will unburden you of the concern of worrying about how to deal with insurance companies, about worrying about how you're going to pay your medical bills. We will explain that to you and walk you through all of the processes and protect you all the way. You can call us at 706-278-2099, or contact us through our website. That's cowanlawoffice.com. We have a link that goes directly to us 24/7.
Welcome back to Friday Night Lights. Psych! This is Monday Night Football. We're here with some fellow Raider alums. Had to bring out the helmet like Roy did last year for Dalton. So right here. So Todd, this was all you, man. So what do we got here?
Yeah, man. So we want to welcome to the show Mr. Jerry Favela and Mr. Angel Garcia, the pride of Southeast Whitfield. A couple of seniors here. You guys came out in the past couple of weeks, and you have signed your collegiate intentions to play ball at the next level. So, Jerry, where are you going to be heading?
So yeah, I'm going to Rhodes College, hopefully. So it's a private college in Memphis, Tennessee. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully do some good things over there.
And Angel, where are you headed?
I'm going to University of North Georgia in Dahlonega. It's a D2 school, and I know that it's a new start for me, especially with both of us.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to work us twice as hard just to get back into the team again.
All right, so Jerry, a little bit like, what was the recruiting process for you like? Did they reach out to you, or where did they see you? How did that connection happen?
So yeah, I went to an ID camp in Alabama. It was an ECNL camp ID that I went to, and there was a bunch of college coaches there, and they reached out to me the day after. So it was on a Sunday, and they reached out to me on a Monday. And so from there, it was the main coach that he said he saw me play, and he said that he loved everything about me and the way I played and everything. And so I started talking to him, and then I sent like highlight videos, and then he talked to my club coach. And then from there, we went on and just kept talking about like each other and the college and everything. And then he went to go watch one of my games through film, so that's how basically my process was.
And what club ball do you play for? Which club team?
So I play SSA, the MPL team, the 05 team, and then I play with NGSA, the 04-05 group.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
I
do?
play for NGTV as well.
Y'all ain't know my little nephew then.
Of course they know your little nephew. Everybody knows one's family.
He's a little Neymar, so it's my little nephew.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And Angel, did that process look similar for you? Were you picked up at an ID camp, or did they spot you somewhere else?
No, for me it was different. I was actually going to go to Shorter first.
I'd heard those. I'd heard that, and then I heard the University of North Georgia. So what happened?
Okay,
then?
so first I didn't have any contact of UNG, and I was just with like I'm going to Shorter for sure. And then we had a spring break, and on that Monday we came back from spring break. My coach gets an email that UNG's interested, and we went like I was supposed to make my decision on Tuesday if I wanted to go to Shorter or not. And I asked the coach if I could extend the days to Thursday, and he let me. And on Thursday I want to go visit at UNG, and from there I like the coach, I like the environment, I like the campus, everything.
Yeah.
And I stuck with UNG, and from there I told him that I was ready to commit with them.
That's good, man. Like, so are you two the first from your immediate family to go off to college, or do you have other siblings or that have been to college, or are you the one setting hey, look, if I can do it, you can do it as well?
Yeah, I had a brother, Melissa Ortega. He
Okay.
went to Bruin Parker.
Okay.
For a good year.
Okay.
What about you, Jerry?
For me, I'm an only child, so I'm the only one that's doing any of this, and I'm the first one to go to college as well. None of my parents went to college, so.
Okay.
That's awesome. So did you guys feel a lot of pressure when you were trying to pick a school? Like, I know for some kids this decision starts, back their junior year. Like, how long had you guys been kind of thinking about this? Jerry, we'll start with you.
Yeah, for me, so I kind of started late. I would want to say probably senior year. That's one of the things I don't regret, but one thing I would change was probably get started earlier. So I wish I had started my junior year. And my process was, I didn't have that many options. I had a D2 school reach out to me. It was Auburn of Montgomery. He was interested. So it was between that and Rhodes. So for that, it wasn't much pressure. I think the only pressure that I had was finding out if I was going to get accepted or not, because it's kind of a harder school to get into. So that was
academic-wise.
Yeah, academic-wise. That was the only thing I was kind of worried about. I was like, what if I don't get accepted this and that? So.
What about you, Angel? Obviously, we've discussed your highlights, the goal this week. So I mean, what did it look? Were you being looked at since last year, or really picked up more this year?
I was looked at a bit last year, but I didn't get much options. But at the same time, there was schools from out of state that I didn't want to go to, and I just want to say not for.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just started this year with.
So my question to you all, because you guys have played some of the best teams. Y'all play obviously 2 times defending state champions. When you play these other schools, like when you played them at college and they have a D1 guy going to the Northwestern a few years back. How do you feel wait, I'm as good as this guy. Why am I not getting? Do y'all feel like sometimes the players here locally in Dalton are not getting the same respect as other areas, like the Atlanta schools, or not?
I would say, yeah. I feel like we don't get recognition as much, but now that Dalton started to take over, we're starting to get that recognition. So that's something nice. But I feel like on the field, or at least for me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, all the players are the same to me. I mean, obviously one player might be better than the other, but at the end of the day, we're all on the same field, and we'll just see who does better and who goes on from there.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, because we've been struggling with this for years, and like I said, and I'm glad that you two are taking the next step, and I think maybe Diego's going somewhere as well.
Yeah, Diego.
So that's good. Laying the groundwork for other kids, and hopefully you all, as you go and progress, will be able to come back to. Just don't forget about the up-and-comers. Come back and say, hey, if I can do that's going to be real good. Come back after your freshman year and say, oh, this is what you need to do. This is what I wish I would have known.
Yeah, it's like you said, right? You kind of wished your recruiting process, you would have started back your junior. Well, that's something you can go back and, you can talk to, somebody that's right now, it's going to be an up-and-coming junior at Southeast and be like, hey, you need to start this process now. Have these conversations now. So, Juan, what are we looking like on time?
We got 45 seconds.
All right. Well, I'll ask you a question. Going back to the pressure, what was the thing that spun you last second to go to North Georgia?
I don't know. It's just, I guess the offer too, the offer they gave me. But it's just the environment, the campus. I liked everything about it. It's just in the mountains. It's all great. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, very cool.
And Delana can go find some gold still, probably.
Hey, that's right. And for you, I know, to go to Memphis and to Rhodes, what was the thing that caught your attention?
So definitely the first thing, because I didn't go on official visit until after, but it was definitely the coach. He, just the way he talked to me, and he seemed interested. I feel like I didn't have that with any other coach, so that brought my attention. And when he told me to go visit, I went to campus, and everything was just nice about it. It's a private school, so it's really top notch, and just everything was about nice. And then I think things I like was definitely the food. Was good.
Hey, and that personal touch.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to keep these guys on for another segment to break down the next round of matches.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Experience the power of the links. OptiLink's streaming app VidLink, powered by its fastest internet service, GigLink. Your link to reliable remote access to healthcare. Your link to the best educational opportunities. Your link to our community's only local provider. Your link to the ultimate in entertainment choices and gaming experiences. No interruptions and faster downloads power up your life with the perfect combination of speed and entertainment. VidLink and GigLink. Upgrade today and get the power of the link.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At coldwellbanker.com.
Hey, welcome back to the last segment of Monday Night Football. We're going to hit up the schedules here in a minute, and joining our special guest, Jerry Favela. This is a guy that's racked up 48 goals, 50 assists in 56 games played, and to his left is Angel Garcia, 12 goals, 15 assists, 32 games played, and who can forget the Golazo last year versus Dalton, and the Golazo just the other night. He's got that magic footwork.
And you know what? That Golazo from last year, not only was it viewed locally, New York Times was in town that day.
Yes.
So that thing went around the world.
It did.
So, let's call Mr. Worldwide. Like Pitbull, he's Mr. Worldwide right here.
That was nice.
Okay.
So, guys, we want to get your personal insight on this. We know you have experience with some of these players and these teams. So, Pete, let's pull up these matches here. So these are the matches this week. These are all tomorrow night. All the local squads are hosting. We got Dalton hosting Chamblee, Christian Heritage hosting Lake Oconee Academy, and Creek hosting Peach County. So, guys, you have some experience with these teams. You look at Dalton versus Chamblee. What are some of the keys for you guys when you look at this game? Some keys for Dalton. I know you know them well.
So, Jerry, give us two, and then Angel, you give us two. See?
All right, sounds good. So, definitely Dalton. I mean, I don't really know how Chamblee plays, but I'm pretty sure they made it this far, so they're probably a good team. So, I would say Dalton definitely has to get on the attack more. I feel like I went to the game last week, and they did do a lot of attacking, but they kind of fell off at halftime. So, they need to keep that momentum going and more attack, and just to not fall asleep in the midfield, because that's something they didn't slack on, but they dropped the game, and that's what the other team
that's when they were allowed to come back and get that goal.
What about you, Angel? Same takeaways or different ones?
Yeah, I'd say the same, but I feel like Dalton is just great with pressing.
Yeah.
Like, they need to keep on pressing and win those balls. Like, every time they clear it, make those possession. And, yeah.
So kind of key plays in that transition game, force those turnovers and immediate pounce on the attack.
And you know what my key is. I'm going back and looking at you, Luis. I know you have a dog, but keep the dog in check. Don't need to get a yellow card. Don't need to get a red card. Don't be kicking at people's feet. Stay focused.
And you know how I feel about it. So goes Zeke, so goes Dalton. Like, there's key players on all these teams. And I feel like if Zeke comes in with a goal, if he bags two, this is going to be a great night. If somehow they're able to contain Zeke, it's going to be a tough night for Dalton. So for me, it's about Zeke finding the game wherever that is and making his chances happen. All right, so moving on to Christian Heritage and Lake Oconee. I know you guys haven't played them, but at the same time, I know you've probably seen some of their games. You know some of the players. So when you look at Creek going into a game, Christian Heritage. Who are the guys that you look at?
For me, my boy Peter definitely has to get on the attack. I know he plays left back, so he definitely has to get on the attack. And my friend Marco as well, he has to control the midfield. I know he plays in the midfield, so he has to control that. Now without no midfield, there's no team.
Pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
What about you, Angel?
Same thing for me. I know Marco is really good at distributing with the ball, playing out wide, and just if he knows that he has a shot to take, he'll take it. And most likely they'll go in or go on target.
I've heard Marco's like a really impressive player out at the club level, so I've heard some really good things.
He's very strong on the ball. It's hard to take that man off the ball.
Yeah,
that ball is like glued to his feet. But your key is what?
Goalkeeper play. We saw him come up big during like the Northwest Whitfield game. Just his improvement from last year, and I'm sorry I cannot remember his name. Save my life.
I forget it.
But
I just know
the
the man with
improvement
the
from last
glasses.
year to this year was incredible. His ball distribution out of the back, everything was good. So continue that. Hey, if you keep a clean sheet, you're always going to be in a game. So
all right, and the big one. What are the keys for Creek? Now keep in mind, Tony El Machete is out. So, accumulation of yellow cards. Angel, what are some keys for this game?
I mean, Tony was just like, he was a big part of the team. I know he was a big part, but I feel like other sub that they need, that they're going to put on, needs to work just as hard as he did and just maintain their defense and maintain their midfield, make sure that they can go on to the next round.
So for me, I'd say they got to find a player that can fill in Tony's spot. I know they're not going to be as good as Tony, but they got to find a player that can maintain that spot in the meantime. So, and then they definitely have to get on the tag as well.
I think,
they don't tag as much.
And we were talking about, like, who's that going to be, right? Are they going to move Saul back there? Because he's kind of a guy that he's like a Swiss Army knife, right? He's
like a you.
Yeah, he can play
Shorter
pretty much
version of
anywhere,
you.
right? And he's definitely got that dog in him the way Tony does. I think they're going to carry that same fighting spirit with them. It's just going to be a collective team like effort, right? They can't depend on Tony to bail them out and step in and cut those passes off. So yeah, it may not be one player, like you said, that fills the role. It may be multiple players that are going to have to step up and fill that, right? So so that's my key is how are you going to fill Tony's spot, but also some guys are going to have to step up and bang in some goals.
Yeah. So we've got 2 minutes. Let's just go ahead. My question to you also, really, so how does it feel? Obviously you got put out, you're going for the 3-peat. Would have been the second school in the area to do it. But you're just look at your careers, 2-time state champions. So what do you feel like the legacy y'all left at Southeast?
Just work hard for everything that you go for. Like, you never know I'm gonna bring up Ish and Jonathan, like, for them, they didn't know it was gonna be their last game. So you just gotta play hard and you just gotta keep on pushing.
Just like last year when y'all lost y'all's guy, the ACL defender. So same thing. Same thing for you, Jerry?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. We just, me and Andrew both won state championship. We played in both years, so that's something great that we accomplished. I feel like even though we went out this year unexpectedly, it was still something that we can look back to and say that we accomplished and we helped the team proceed through. So yeah.
You know what I was going to ask. I've got to ask about the hair. So my thing is, how does it feel to see I ain't going to say who, but some other people from some other schools going with the blonde hair when that's always been a Southeast Raider thing? Like, Southeast always dyes the hair, but do you feel like it's a mutual, like, hey, that's just respecting us, or what do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I don't have anything against it. I think it's pretty nice that we kind of started the trend. So that's how I feel about it. It's nice seeing other people do the same.
Because it's been going on for years in Southeast, and you know that, Todd. Your Mohawks going back 25 years.
Yeah. Nobody carried this on. So
we got 30 seconds, Todd. What do you went in with?
I don't know. I look at these guys and I think about what they've accomplished in the past few years, and I think about how they've just upped the level another notch, right?
Yeah.
They've improved, like lifted the county schools up, right, to where Dalton is, and now we're all on this equal footing. And as a county kid, I never thought we'd be here sitting at the day that Southeast, Northwest, and Creek have all won championships, and we're all that's all we're here for.
And with that, we're going to end this session. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you hopefully next week with an episode of Monday Night Football.